Our next guest says, do not fall in love with a stock because it'll never love you back. George Young is portfolio manager at Villere Company. He's joining us now on what do you mean by that? You mean falling in love with the hot, sexy names like Tesla, Amazon, or is there a deeper
You can
meaning?
fill in the blank with any name you want. Traditionally, people remember the big stocks, Exxon, et cetera, as if it's impregnable, as if it can't fall apart. We all remember Exxon Valdez. That was some time ago.
Yeah.
But every stock has its day where you want to own it. But also, remember, it's not like your grandmother's pearls. If she left you some pearls in her will, they have sentimental value. That makes sense. Fall in love with that. But when it comes to a stock, it's just a thing. You need to sell it or need to be considering selling if it represents too much of your account or if it's gotten to be overvalued. A lot of overvalued stocks out there right now.
What if it's not in your nature and you have to train yourself to be disciplined? A guy like Warren Buffett is always disciplined. He sells when he thinks everybody else is running in, and he buys when everybody else is fleeing.
Right. That's exactly right. The difficulty is to know when to sell, but I would argue that if it gets to represent too much of your portfolio, 10, 15%, that's too much. A lot of people may hide and say, I don't want to pay taxes. Well, you only pay taxes on a certain percentage of what you're making, and it gives you the opportunity to put that capital work in something else. There's always something else out there that's attractive.
Well, you've got $2 billion plus in assets under management. We just showed some of the points of your process. Explain the most important ones. Your process of buying a stock.
Well, what we try to do is find things that are undervalued by our measurements. That means cheap PE ratios. That means low debt. That means some sort of unassailable franchise, a moat that they've built around their product or their service.
You a value investor?
One could say that.
Okay, yeah, you sound like a value investor.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. More importantly, I think we're bottom-up investors, and I think that's the important thing to building up portfolios. Buy securities that will do well in any sort of environment. Who knows what's going to happen with interest rates? Who knows what's going to happen in the White House? Who knows what's going to happen with the price of oil? All that being said, you want a diversified portfolio that can grow over time.
You like VILLX, Kearney Financial, and Western Digital. Western Digital, to me, is a very volatile stock, is it not?
I don't think so. It's a cheap stock right now. Again, think about what they do. They're in tune with data storage. Any kind of way data needs to be stored, whether it's the pictures on your phone or whatever's on your screen right now, everybody needs to store data. That's going to increase 4 times over the next 4 years.
Isn't that commoditized a little bit, that industry, or not yet?
A little bit, but think about what they're doing right now. They're in a joint venture with Toshiba, and that's what's in play right now. Is what's going to happen to Toshiba's part. They have to sell. Western Digital is in the driver's seat via their purchase of SanDisk some years ago. So they're the ones that will be able to make the decision on who their partner will be and how much money they'll be able to make.
All right.
Great company.
Broad question on the markets
Yes.
before we hear that bell ring. We have the S&P turning negative. We've got the Dow turning negative. Just doesn't seem to be making a go of it right now. What's the market sentiment going into the summer? Yesterday was the first day of summer.
Market sentiment's pretty good right now. And again, what you've got is low interest rates, you've got low unemployment, and you've got the consumer coming back strong. And again, you look at the United States economy versus the rest of the world, very strong, relatively speaking.
George Young of the Villere Balanced Fund, great advice. Thank you so much.